Working on the weekend. Alright, ladies and gents, it is Saturday, 6:40, 6:50. It's Pete's fault. Point is, it's early morning here in Cape Town. I think it just turned 7 o'clock. So usually I take Saturdays off and I work Sunday, but this week I've just flipped the two because Pete is off to Dubai tomorrow. So working today and then I'll take my day off tomorrow. Now, what I want to do in this video or this vlog is actually just run through my entire day. Got a couple exciting things happening here and there just because obviously it is Saturday. But I just kind of wanted to give you guys an update on like the various areas of my life and give you guys an update in the past like 30 to 60 days on like where I'm at in terms of my health and my fitness, where I'm at in terms of like just some really dope apps I found, where I'm at in terms of like even just tattoos. I got a tattoo like a month ago. I'm about to get another tattoo today. I haven't really revealed those anywhere. And also like where I'm at in terms of like my actual work structure, because sometimes I'm working 12-hour days and sometimes I'm working 4-hour days, and there's just these ebbs and flows in terms of my work capacity depending on 101 different variables and kind of where I'm at in life. So if you don't want to see any of the rest of the crap, I'm gonna go ahead and put timestamps now, so you can just go ahead and skip to a portion of the video if you don't want to see the rest. So I'm gonna place this now and let's go to the gym and get started. So we are here at the gym and today we're just gonna go for an active recovery day. Just do a few compounds here and there, some body weight stuff. I usually train Monday to Friday, so now training on Saturday kind of throws everything off. So as I said, we're just gonna do a bit of active recovery. Push ourselves a little bit more than a technical active recovery day would be. But yeah, let's get into it and I'll talk to you guys a little bit more about where I'm at with my health and fitness in just a sec.
I think that I'm finally in my zone. Got a ting out west, got a ting back home, yeah. I think that I'm finally in my zone. Living on a high, but we keep it on the low, yeah. I think that I'm finally in my zone.
So I apologize for this background music. But yeah, kind of where I'm at with my fitness. Past 2 months I decided to take my health and fitness back into my own hands. I will be hiring a new personal trainer probably in like 3 months or so. I'm in the best shape, and I wouldn't say of my life, because the funny thing is when I was like 16, 17, I was literally stronger and bigger than I am now because I had the time to sort of dedicate to it. I had the time to really progressively overload. I had the time to try, you know, conjugate method, try all of these different routines and different ways to push myself in the gym. So I wouldn't say I'm in the best shape of my life, but I'm definitely in the best shape of my business life. You know, the past 2 years or so where things have gotten busy. And for me, a gym is really more about like leaving with clarity and focus so much, you know, more so than having fun or like increasing my fitness or strength. It's been more really maintenance the past 2 years. And you can't see right now because I'm wearing, obviously, Youth Never Satisfied hoodie. Gadgetclothing.com. We did one final restock, so when the stock there goes, like that's it, you will never be able to get this hoodie again. Because the way that we do it with the clothing line is it's seasons, not, you know, evergreen products. So yeah, anyways, you can't really see it because I'm wearing this freaking hoodie right now because I live in this thing. But I'll get Pete to throw in some clips from like a month ago when I was in Bali and stuff like that. As I said, that's not my best form, my best shape, but in kind of the past 2 months, it definitely is. So, workout-wise, training-wise, I'm back on form. Well, actually, I'm not back on form. I'm better than ever. I'm having fun with it again, you know? It's been like 2 years since I actually freaking had fun training and like did different shit and like mixed it up and like, you know what I mean? So it's nice to go back to something that you loved so much before that you just got so bored and things just got so stale with, and just have fun with it again. So really having a lot of fun with my training at the moment. That reflects in terms of my physique. On my importance scale, if I look at like sleep, how I feel, energy levels, strength, functionality, like my physique is probably like literally the lowest of the low. Like I honestly couldn't care less. I can't remember the last time I like looked myself in the mirror and like tried to check where my physique was. You know, as an entrepreneur, to me, that just, it's the last thing on earth that matters. But even though it's lowest down on my scale, it's still kind of nice to know that I'm getting some of my old physique back. So that's that. But in terms of my sleep has been atrocious. Obviously the past 2-3 months I was in Bali, Milan, Nepal, Bali, Mexico, and now here in Cape Town. Like I haven't really had my biohacking environment where I got my red lights at home, I got my blue light blockers. I'm pissed I left my blue light blockers in London. so I don't even have them in Cape Town. So sleep is something that definitely hasn't been off to a great start in 2020. And for me, of all things, sleep is actually the highest priority. So that's definitely something I'm looking to get back on track. In terms of nutrition, it's all been pretty good. Like, to be honest, Cape Town here, like, obviously there's always stuff that like I enjoy that I know is amazing, like fried calamari. But like, at least it's not like London where you also got the option to kind of have like a cheesecake, or like you got the option to maybe have some more fatty foods. I definitely miss my home delivery service, because that was just like, I never even had to think about eating clean, and also the glycemic index of like some of the foods I was eating, because I was using a company called Pure Package, and I was using their paleo inspired menu. So yeah, that's definitely something I do miss. I do kind of miss having all my meals just arrive, but food's super cheap in Cape Town. I'm enjoying the food here, it's super good. So all in all, I'd say nutrition's been pretty decent. Definitely for me, probably like a 6 out of 10, nowhere near where it used to be or it should be, but I thought I'd keep it real for you guys in this vlog and talk about, you know, the different areas of my life. And it's in the past 2-3 months, a lot of things have changed, you know, when it comes to who I allow around me, my environment, where I even want to be, when it comes to my work structure, my schedule, my work, you know, a lot of things have changed. So I just want to keep it as real as possible for you guys on this vlog. And fitness, sleep, nutrition, at the moment I'd say it's maybe a 6.5, yeah, 6 or 6.5 out of 10. I have a long way to go, but honestly in 2020, by the end of 2020, I'm telling you, I'm gonna be in the best shape of my life. Even though that's already the case, I'm also talking in terms of my sleep, nutrition, and also very soon I'm gonna be picking up some jiu-jitsu, self-defense, because I know if I ever go on a fight, although I might be big, I might be strong, I would get my butt whooped. So yeah, let's get back to workout. So just finished up my meditation session, which kind of brings me on to the next point that I want to talk to you guys about, or the next thing I want to fill you guys in on, which was kind of where I'm at with my mindfulness practice. I think all you guys know that meditation is a very, very big part of my life. It's something that's very, very important to me. And you know, one of the main pillars and one of the most valuable things I have in my arsenal of habits. But the past 2 months I say the past 2 months, maybe even potentially the past 3 months, I've been useless when it comes to meditation. Useless. I'd say maybe, especially even in the past 45 days, I'd say maybe I'd meditated 7-8 days out of that time. Obviously the past 3 months for all 3 companies have been ridiculous, for the clothing line, the agency, and the education company. It's just been very nuts, quite frankly. And it's funny because it's usually in those times when there's a lot going on externally and you're kind of out of routine, that's when things like meditation slips, going to the gym, reading, those core sort of habits usually slip in those times, when those should be the times when you should be making sure that those habits stay in place, because those habits will help you ride through the wave of a lot of chaos and commotion in your life. So point is, I went from, you know, being 14 years old, doing 30-minute Kundalini meditations, to now, you know, 5 years later, having meditated for, or almost 6 years later, having meditated for 6 years, I downloaded Headspace 5 days ago. Oh no. So yeah, I mean, sometimes you gotta put your ego to the side, and I wanted to get back into meditation and just do a solid 30 days again. And I'm actually thinking about shooting a video on that, you know, doing like a 30-day meditation challenge, because I've been out of meditation for kind of like 3 months at this point. So I've been recording some clips for that and thinking about making that into a video, just documenting just my entire process getting back into meditation, pitfalls, what things you're gonna struggle with. But yeah, I had to put my ego to the side. I had to download Headspace, got their yearly membership, and it's back to listening to that weird British guy's voice. You know what I'm talking about, or hopefully most of you guys should know what I'm talking about. But now, for any of you guys who are looking to get started with meditation, this video is actually proudly sponsored by I wish it was sponsored by Headspace, that would be dope. But you know, download Headspace. I think they've got a solid 20-30 days of free meditation sessions and kind of like the beginner basic stuff. It's only, and I've used stuff before like Calm. I also have a Muse meditation headband, which I actually didn't bring to Cape Town. So I've tried a bunch of different stuff out there, but if you're a beginner or you're someone who's kind of in and out of meditation, you want to get serious about it in 2020, definitely go ahead and download Headspace. It's, in my opinion, by far the best app out there, the one that makes me most excited to meditate. For beginners, for people who are intermediate and advanced, definitely the Muse is a really cool tool as well. So yeah, that's kind of an update on my mindfulness, or lack of, and we'll get on with the rest of the day.
Let's see the most satisfying thing on earth.
Boom. One more roll in the bag.
One of how many rolls do you think we've shot so far on this trip?
We bought like 25 when you arrived.
I checked, we have 2 left, but the 2 are the Portra 400 from London's.
We need to put this into perspective. Iman arrives in Cape Town and buys the whole of Cape Town out of stock of film. Like, you literally can't buy any of this Kodak Color Plus anywhere in Cape Town since this man arrived.
Which reminds me, we're out of
Color Plus.
plus, so.
Hopefully they have more stock, bro. Otherwise we stuck to like black and white or Fujifilm.
Well, literally right before you're about to start rolling, I was like, you know, I thought about this, and the film camera that I bought, the one with this strap, like, I was thinking like, you could walk around with this, and if someone comes up to you, like, I feel as though you could totally use this as like a weapon. You know what I mean? Like, imagine getting hit in the face with this
Just
thing.
as long as you don't test it on me, bro.
Yeah, no, I mean, I doubt I'll come to this, but anyways, we are off to the film store, hopefully to clear out their stock of Color Plus, if they've even got any more Color Plus left. When did we pick up the stock? 10 days ago?
Yeah.
How have we used like 25 rolls in 10 days?
You get drunk and shoot anything you can on the contact.
Yeah, when we had that first 1 week of like, well, my friends coming here from London and letting loose a little, there was a lot of drunk photos, yeah. But wait, can we put in the Filippo photo?
Yeah.
We'll put in that photo. Actually, no, just put in a couple just degenerate drunk photos. So hopefully we'll manage to get our hands on some more Color Plus, get these 3 developed. We used to, for the first like week or so, I got all of the photos printed, matte print as well. It's nice to just give it out to my friends. They can take it home to their parents, etc., etc. But now really no point, so I'm gonna drop this off and hopefully get the WeTransfer within like 45 minutes, an hour. Okay, so 69. Could we do, if I get 30, can you bring it down to 60?
65.
62?
Because now they increase quite a lot.
So 65.
65, yes.
Okay. Okay, I'll take 30.
Sure.
So we are at Sea Point.
V&A Waterfront.
Point is we're near the ocean, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Exactly, basically Sea Point. So, just got all of the rolls of film. I was about to say we decided not to film just outside the store, but it's so cheap here. It's ridiculous. Like, I'll show you the conversion. In London, I was paying. So yeah, as I was saying, in London, like I'm paying 15 pounds for a roll of Portra 400. And like technically, yes, Portra 400 is more expensive, or the more premium version of like the Fujifilm 200 that we got. But like we pulled up a comparison and they look pretty, pretty evenly matched. So doing the calculations here with my expert, is it that way?
Yeah.
With my expert bartering, I got the rolls of film down to 65 for a roll of film, 65 Rand, and then it was 45 for developing, and then 40 for scanning, and then I think they charged us 5 extra just to WeTransfer it. So 155 Rand for a roll of 36 film, and then 45 to develop, 40 to scan, comes out to £8.23. So I'm paying double what I'm paying for an entire roll of film and developing and scanning.
You mean half?
Oh wait, yeah, I'm paying half here for an entire roll of film and develop and scan than I am just for the roll of film itself in London. And in London I'm paying around 10 to 15 pounds, as I said, depends where I buy it from, for the Portra 400. And then to get it developed and scanned costs another 15 pounds. And then another 5 pounds if I wanted them all printed, like matte finish. So, Cape Town's sick. I love this place. So, bad news, didn't get the tattoo because I wanted it about yay big. It was only feasible to do around yay big with, without like losing any detail in terms of shading and stuff like that. So, no tattoo here in Cape Town. In all fairness, like looking at the actual image itself, I'm pretty sure the same people who did this, and I've had so many people, I got this exactly a year ago, I've had so many people like, oh, your tattoo is faded, you should probably get that like filled in. I asked for it like this. Like, I like tattoos that aren't super heavy in ink and stuff like that. Same like my Atlas one, which is actually the opposite of what happened with my last tattoo that you guys probably have seen in videos here and there. I haven't actually announced it. So this is Jean-Paul Basquiat, his iconic crown. So that symbolizes heavy as the head. And between me literally having a crown on my, tattooed on myself for heavy as the head, and having Atlas, I look like one very jaded 20-year-old. But all jokes aside, like, for me, this represents, I look at this and it's just a reminder that, like, it's just kind of how life worked out. I've had to hold up a lot of people from an early age. And to be honest, a lot of it is self-imposed, but it's also innate. You look at certain people out there and you wonder, like, why do they put so much pressure on themselves, or why do they take on so much responsibility? Like, I can tell you, I wouldn't know how to live life in any other way. Like, I don't know how to live life without, I don't know, some people have such a deep sense of mission and purpose, and like, that's always just been me, like, for as long as I can remember. So, this is a reminder to myself that, when things get tough, like, same with Atlas Shrugged, you can shrug and you can give up, but you need people in this world to step up and take responsibility. And like, I really don't have an opinion on this yet. I don't know whether I believe in it, I don't believe in it, but I still, make this reference, that I think there's certain things in life that are God-given, that are innate. And I think that's just one of my blessings and one of my curse, because this kind of ties into heavy as the head, which is like, I don't share a lot with you, and I don't think it's never something that has a serious spike. But like, I think anyone who knows me personally knows that I do go through a lot of very tough mental health challenges. I think, I have a lot of my loved ones who wonder how I haven't imploded at this point with the amount of responsibility at my age that I do have, and how much more I'm bringing on in terms of like, okay, first retire and take care of your mom. Okay, now you have employees with mortgages. Okay, you have thousands of students. You have an audience on social media of like hundreds of thousands. I think the exact number is 774 kids who will wake up in 2020 and go to one of the 2 schools that Grow Your Agency built and funded in 2019. So yeah, like, quite frankly, mental health is definitely something I struggle with. 90% of the time, I'm a very introspective person. I'm a very calm, quiet person. If you ever met me in real life, I'm really not that charismatic. Usually when I'm at a dinner table or a lunch table or this or that, I'm usually one of the quieter people, one of the people who kind of keeps themselves more. That's me 90% of the time. 10% of the time, I'm extremely extroverted, gregarious, charismatic, but don't let that fool you. I'm human, and I've done pretty well at keeping everything together. I definitely go through periods where I go into very, very deep, dark places mentally. And that's just kind of one of the things that comes with having this sense of responsibility that I have. So just know, if you're an entrepreneur, not even an entrepreneur, if you're someone who is a leader in life, you're in every situation, realistically, you're the one who gives 90% and gets 10%. But in my opinion, that's the biggest blessing of them all. So as the saying goes, heavy is the head that wears the crown. And although in the context of that concept, I'm still very much in my infancy, there's a little insight into why that tattoo means something to me. So ladies and gentlemen, for this next portion of today's weird hybrid vlog thingy, I'm going to talk to you guys about 3 applications that I've come across in the last 30 to 60 days that have been super, super useful, that I've been quite impressed by. Sat right in front of me is my iPad Pro. I think it's the 11-inch or the 10.9. The smaller, not the really obnoxiously large one, iPad Pro with like the Apple keyboard thing and the pencil, which I don't really use. Actually, I do use it to make some of my YouTube videos where you guys see like the drawing stuff. So I guess it's used for that. But anyways, I got this thing just because why not? Like for me at this stage, if it is an actual business expense and I can tax deduct it, having pretty much the top of the line equipment in every single sense, in terms of like having the new 16-inch MacBook Pro like fully spec'd out, and like an iPad Pro and like an Apple Watch, like it's all worth it. And like, I'll try a bunch of stuff and see what sticks and what works for me and what doesn't. Like for example, the Apple Watch, and I think you would have seen the video for it by now. I'm wearing it, as I mentioned earlier in the video, like I didn't bring any of my nice watches with me. So just even having the timer functionality on here, and also I have like a reminder to drink water, and I track my water intake on here, and obviously workouts and stuff. It's really like, I have not been a fan of this thing. Once I get back to London, I'll probably put on this thing in the morning and like wear it while I train, just for like timer, track the workout. But apart from that, like I really have not been impressed with this thing. Whereas the iPad, I used to make fun of people who had iPads. I thought it was the dumbest shit ever. I was like, why would you not just use your computer? I also made fun of people who had Apple Watches. I understand a little bit more now. For me, it's just I just think it's pointless to have on my wrist. Like, I'm here to get disconnected, not more connected. There is cool functionality. If you keep it on airplane mode, you're reducing the EMF radiation and just all in all, like there's some useful crap on here. As I mentioned in my Apple Watch review video for entrepreneurs, which I think would have already come out by now, I do like if I have like a spare moment just hopping on here and opening up Bear and just looking through like some old notes of mine and stuff like that. But anyways, back to the point of this video. I got this iPad Pro. It's been a lot more useful than I thought it would be. Like, using this is actually really nice to write. So I respond to a lot of emails and a lot of Slack messages. I'm notoriously bad for replying to communication in general. I'm a really slow communicator because I just hate it. And like, especially when I'm on my computer, I'm trying to focus. That said, I have notifications come to the iPad. It's sitting somewhere around the house and it's always on Do Not Disturb. You know, just sometimes I'll have a quick 2-3 minute break here and there. Just open it up, fold over the keyboard and like start typing away. It's pretty good. But anyways, that is not the point of this segment. The point of this segment is to give you guys 3 tools that I've been using recently that I think may be of value to you. So tool number 1 is an app called Bear. Now, Bear has replaced Apple Notes as my note-taking system. Now, when it's Sunday and I'm writing emails for the following week to my email list, that all goes in Google Docs within Google Drive, and that's all organized and stuff like that. I don't actually know why I'm using this. I don't need to in the slightest. But what I have Bear for is just a really aesthetic, beautiful way to organize all my notes. It's way nicer than Apple Notes. For me, just taking notes is something that I kind of do sporadically here and there. But what Bear has done for me is it's made me want to take notes. So I can organize all of my notes. I have them organized into Grow Your Agency, IAG Media, Learning, Podcast Notes, YouTube Notes, and then YouTube Scripts. And YouTube Scripts is basically like any of my sit-down videos. I'll just write out a rough outline for the script or kind of what I'm gonna say in the video. So anyways, those are just after, like, I've been using this app for maybe like 20 to 30 days. What I have, I'm sure I'll kind of flesh it out a little bit more. But even just things like now, whenever I'm listening to a podcast or an audiobook, I've always really struggled with audiobooks because I don't retain the information. Now with Bear, I'm also listening to audiobooks and I'm writing down notes. Same thing with YouTube. I will never ever watch a YouTube video without having split screen open on my computer or on my iPad, which is the only 2 places I watch YouTube videos. Bear open and I'm taking notes on the video itself. Even if it's literally 1 or 2 sentences on something I found really profound or interesting from the YouTube video. That way, from the little YouTube that I do watch, at least I'm not wasting any time. So I think Bear, if you pay for a year up front, it's like £1.50 a month. I think the yearly total is £15, and you just have obviously access across all your iOS devices, and it's also like, it just looks aesthetic. For me, a lot of building good positive habits is about having a really good interface and is about having a good experience or something. Like, for example, this is why I've always been a fan of the Oura Ring. It's because the Oura Ring makes you want to sleep better because of the way that it's gamified the process, and it's just like, it's a beautiful interface, and it just kind of makes you excited to do the thing. In the same way, Bear gets me excited to write notes. It gets me excited to, while I'm listening to an audiobook, actually write down notes. While I'm listening to a podcast, rather than just listening to it, thinking that I'm gonna retain it, but realistically not ever retaining shit, take down notes. In the same way, when I just have spare thoughts and I actually need to add that component to it, I still use Apple Notes for my scrappy, when I just need to write a couple sentences, the really scrappy stuff. That's what I use Apple Notes for. But yeah, changing over to Bear has definitely been a bit of a game changer for me. And for any of you guys looking to upgrade from Apple Notes or whatever you're using, I would strongly recommend trying out Bear. I've been looking at some of the other stuff out there. There's other note-taking apps. There's obviously Notion as well, Evernote. I've used Evernote in the past. If I look at Evernote compared to Bear, these days when I'm writing notes, I'm not having, even though Bear can totally handle all of that, I don't have a bunch of photos in there and screenshots, and like, there's not too much technicality in there. And I found that Evernote is a little bit slower, more sloppy. It just feels more dated, which, I mean, our friends, Evernote's been around for almost a decade. But yeah, that's number 1, Bear, would strongly recommend. Now, number 2 is an app called Day One, and Day One is a journaling or sort of daily journal. Now, I'm not someone who journals. In the past, I have journaled. You know, for me, kind of clearing my mind and just getting to really focus where I kind of feel light and, you know, and not feel like I've got, you know, my mind racing 100 miles an hour all the time. Meditation and training, going to the gym, that does that for me. And, you know, I'm not a type of person who, yes, I have a lot of ideas in my mind, and sometimes, you know, I'll open up my Apple Notes and just write some rough stuff in there, just kind of brain dump. But day one journal is quite nice because I don't do it every single day, but at the end of the day, you can open up day one journal, just write a note, and obviously it's kind of like you can see the progression over the space of the entire year. You can see where your mind's at, and it just kind of lets you unload. And this isn't something that is a ritual to me. Like my morning routine is a ritual. Meditation, going to the gym, reading a book a week now that I've started again this year after, having done it for 3 years in a row and then taking 2 years off of it. That's a ritual again. So I wouldn't say that day one and journaling is a ritual, but it's been something that I've been implementing again, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So that's number 2, and that is day one journal. Now, the last one that I've opened up right here is Blinkist. And some of you guys might know that this year, one of my 3 goals is to read a book a week. I did that for 4 consecutive years, 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2017, and 2018 and 2019. I only read maybe 10 to 20 books in each of those years. So now that I'm going back to reading a book a week, my schedule is nowhere near as free as it used to be. So my process now for reading a book is, first thing I'll do is I will open it up in Blinkist. They say that, you can literally get most of the information and the main sort of macro themes and knowledge from any book in 10 to 15 minute summaries. So what I'll do is I'll actually read the 10 to 15 minute summary. And here's the thing, I'm not reading fiction books, I'm reading nonfiction. So I don't really care about spoiler alert or, understanding what the main themes are in each chapter and this and that. In fact, it actually helps me when I'm reading, and it helps my reticular activation system pick out what things are interesting, and it helps me read at a faster pace. So what I do is I will first read the summary in Blinkist, then I'll open up my Kindle, I'll read through it in Kindle, and I have the confidence to kind of read at a faster pace because I know exactly what is contained in the book at sort of every single chapter because of Blinkist. And I know sort of what chapters I can skim through and read quicker. And then at the end of that, as you guys know, once I've read a book, I will go ahead and make my community cliff notes. If you're an agency incubator student, I make that public to all of you guys, so you guys literally get the same notes that I use myself. And this year I'm actually gonna go ahead and revamp my cliff note organization, the way that I use them, the way that I run them. And I'm also potentially, I don't know yet, this might be a distraction, but I'm also thinking about starting a book club, so you guys will be able to get my cliff notes, all of you guys, whether you're an agency incubator student or not, and those will be sent out weekly. So those are my 3 sort of tools, apps that I've been using recently. I'm sure there's a lot more, but I just kind of opened up my iPad and I was like, I've kind of started using some cool new apps, tools recently. So as I said, Blinkist, Bear, and day one journal. So hope you guys enjoyed that. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that little vlog hybrid thing. It is currently the next day, 9 a.m. Today's Sunday. So it is my day off. Usually I actually work on Sundays and take Saturdays off, but this week just decided to invert it because Pete is off to Dubai today for a week, which is very, very exciting. But yeah, there's honestly quite a lot of stuff that I missed out in the vlog that I want to talk to you guys about. Personal stuff, there was even just like, where am I gonna be the rest of the year? Because after Cape Town, I'm actually not gonna be in London for another 2 months, so I want to discuss that, but I'm sure we can say that for another vlog, which actually brings up a good point. If you want to see another vlog, I want you to make it very, very clear, very, very apparent by smashing that like button, and I really mean it. Smash that like button, go ahead and leave a comment down below. What do you want to see in the next vlog? As always, hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. What do you really think of the nigga that's making your beats? I've done things for him I thought